Greetings everyone, hello and welcome to this reading. Hey, thanks for joining me guys. Leo, this is your year reading. The yearly overview for 2019 and leading into the first month of 2020. There will be one card per month using this Morgan Greer deck. So while it is a light overview, it still goes in depth enough to give you insight as to how the year is panning out and how you wish to deal with certain times or certain energies around those times. Now I'm doing this reading today on January the 16th of 2019, and that is kind of not long after the first eclipse of January. It's just before the second eclipse, but it happens to be on a day that 3 asteroids are whizzing past Earth. And these are quite big asteroids, and NASA has given, like a slight warning saying that we have near close bodies going past Earth. So these asteroids also play an impact or a role in how we feel and sort of activities and activations that are going on with the eclipses as well. So this is a really powerful time of the year. Let's get into doing some shuffling for you guys and seeing what is going to be coming your way through the divination of the cards. Now I had already started shuffling with your intent in mind for Leo. So I'm just going to continue doing that now and asking Archangel Michael to come in and be with us and present any messages through the cards that he would wish to relay as well. So 12 cards in all. The very 12th one will be January 2020. So this is for Leo for a 12 card spread. Okay. Your first card for the reading for February 2019 is the 10 of Wands. Your second card, which is March, is the 9 of Wands. Brothers there overlooking each other. April is the High Priestess. She's the first of your major arcanas, and it's the first time I've seen her out. And after just talking about the eclipses, we have an example of either a new moon or a sort of like an eclipsed moon energy. May is the 8 of Pentacles. Now coming down to the next row, we see your first card is June, which is the 3 of Cups. And then into July, oh how beautiful, the Sun, that's your second major arcana. And of course we were talking about the eclipses, and we have a moon and a sun in the reading. So I think that's fairly significant for you guys, especially if you're going to be listening to this video not long after I upload it. It might be powerful to really sink into the energies of the eclipse and see what messages are coming for you and see how you feel about, what is it making you think and feel, and address those type of thoughts and actions as well. So we now come to August. Well, hello. The universe is giving us everything about an eclipse and the space and asteroids flying past. So we now have the star. So really beautiful together, quite uncommon, the star and the sun together. You're having a whole celestial cosmic reading. And I did ask Archangel Michael to come in as well. And interestingly, in this card, these little stars up here, I often refer to as your celestial helpers, such as spirit guides or archangels. So it would seem that he's really prevalent here in this reading for you. And we'll get to that as we go through the reading, and there'll be some messages come from him, but for right now he's very, very active. Let's see what September is. The Hermit, and there's another star in there as well. October. I'm sorry, but it's really quite amazing. So now we have the moon. So we have the moon, the sun, the star, another moon, another star. Yeah, it's, I love it when synchronicity is so empowering and so powerful. So I had, as I say, just been talking about the eclipses coming and the asteroids that were going to have an impact as well. So for those of you who do get to view this reading right around the time I'm uploading it, this is going to be a jolly cracker one, and one worth really connecting with, because there is some power behind this, I can tell you. Surely we've done all the celestial bodies now, the moon, sun, star, another moon. So November, we have the Page of Swords. December, we have the Six of Pentacles, and January for 2019 we have a beautiful card, the Nine of Cups. Guys, you have actually got yourselves rather a nice reading, I have to say. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas, which is about an average number, but it's the interesting tale of connection that they are telling us along this journey that goes a little bit deeper than just the reading. Anyhow, let's start up at the very beginning, which is February, with the Ten of Wands. Sometimes people with this one can feel as though you've been on a bit of a long journey, possibly something that has been going for some time. It could even be 10 months or longer. Now, just coming back to something that a lot of the astrologers are commenting on is that this is the beginning of a new 9-year cycle coming in 2019. So in many respects, it's a very important year to really fundamentally grasp the concept that what you do now for this year, which is, as you know, you've got all these beautiful celestial elements flowing through your chart or through your reading. What you do for this year is going to be the foundation of how you move forward for the next 9. So if there's anything in your life that you really don't like about things, whether it's something in your own personal belief systems or your personal behaviours, or whether it's a relationship you're in, or whether it's a career that you are following, if it's not what's making you feel good from the inside out or connected at the heart, it's time now to make a change. Because what you do in this first year is the ground setting pathway for the whole 9 years. So this is an important year, and it's really worthy to get one of these readings at the beginning of the year. So this Ten of Wands at the beginning, or February, could be alluding that there are things that you've felt like, oh, it's been a long journey, I'm coming to the end of it. So it's a good time frame for this card to come up, because it may make you think about changes you want to make. It may also make you come to understand that you have learned a lot along the way with whatever it is you've been doing. Now, sometimes this card projects itself into the realm of career or things that we're passionate about, such as hobbies or like creative resources in our life. This can cover off things such as writing or acting or music or creating any of those as well. Now, for some of you, it might have felt like a burden, and there could have been really hard times where you've thought you weren't going to get through it, but you've practically at the end of an epoch of the journey, and you are ready to start to head into a new direction. So take what you have learned as a really powerful tool to manifest what you want as you move forward. The one next to it, which is March, is going back a step in time, and he's the Nine of Wands, and he comes, of course, one before the 10. So there's still got this feeling as you move into March that you're still pondering, you know, which way to go, how to deal with the tying up of the project, or wondering if you've left something behind as well, or something unfinished, or a perspective of it, or a dynamic of it that hasn't been completed. So that might be something for you guys to pay really good attention to looking more into the perhaps the unfinished perspectives of this project. Now, because this is a general reading, your projects are going to be vastly different for each and every one of you. Some it could be career, some it could be passions, some it could be financial obligations or things that you have been tending to. For others of you, this could be your health sector in life. So go with whatever it is that's popping most into your mind and trying to get your attention. We come to April and we see the High Priestess, and she was the first of the indicators as I had just talked about, the eclipses in January and the asteroids flying by, which alter the dynamic extremely and add to various inflammatory tensions around us, and the asteroids will help to bring up even more stuff that's been hiding or paralyzed or stuck or glitchy. When those things fly past at the rate they move, they alter all of our space area around us, and then they send waves into Earth that are altering the dynamics. So they're powerful when an asteroid comes by. The High Priestess talks to us about being into understanding nature's the issue and the nature of things like that. She's very esoteric. She's connected to the cosmos, to the higher self, to collective consciousness. She knows a great deal. So we've got a lot of information in this row portending to knowing a lot, because this card, the Eight of Pentacles, also talks about it. So right at this first quarter of the year, it feels as though you Leos have got something about understanding an awful lot in life, and it's time to utilize it. It's time to expand. It's time to put it to more power, more use, uplift it somehow. That's what I'm being told here. It's like I've sort of said the year 2019 is the year of expansion, and I think that's what a lot of us need to do. We need to break free and expand out and open our knowledge gates and understand that we hold a great deal of wisdom. She could also be very activated around the time of the two eclipses. There's also eclipses in July, and there's one in the 26th of December. She also is very much about trusting her feminine side of life and those emotions. So trusting your gut instinct around projects or propositions or ideals or activities. Feeling into the higher self, the collective conscious. Asking for support from your guides and angels. And of course Michael was here today, and he still is in this reading, giving us such a sometimes the angelic energies, if you like, they do have a sense of humour, and he pulled out as many as he could in the deck to reference the whole, I think, importance of being on board with connecting with the energies of the eclipses and such like. So the High Priestess comes to you to say, connect with those energies, connect with the greater good, connect with vast knowledge, and it will take you far. She also sometimes bodes quite well for health. Sometimes she says that the emotions could be, I was going to say inflated, but I don't think that's the right word. They could be being affected a little bit by hormones, and sometimes females' hormones. So for women out there could be a time for some of you where you need to get your hormone levels checked. This could be things like menopause or premenopause, or even for younger people. Some of the hormones in your body might need to be balanced one way or another, and this can even be things like the thyroid or the pituitary, which can alter and affect growth as well. The other thing about her is she can sometimes symbolize new relationships coming on the scene, and quite a bit of really excitable activity. So she's a very positive card in many, many ways. We come to May, and we have this guy here, the Eight of Pentacles. Now again, he has knowledge and wisdom. He's gained much through the determination of hard work and being determined to succeed in life. He's acquired all of these beautiful pentacles behind him, and he is still working on more. So traditionally, he is referred to as having a little bit of success around money, or that his money is growing or showing gains. Now sometimes this is a good time to look at how you want to invest for the year. So this could be a hint that it might be a good time to put your money in certain areas, whether it be buying stocks or shares or a property, or putting it in a bank account at high interest, or something along those lines. The other thing that it can indicate is that sometimes you get a slight influx coming in, such as a small pay rise or a dividend of some sort, or maybe even a loan or a gift from a family friend or someone that you meet. The only other dynamic with this card is, because it's a good, solid, stable earth sign energy, but I sometimes find that people could have a little bit of back pain around this time of the year, especially around the lower back, which can indicate the base chakra energy needing to be freed up a bit. So something like a massage or some Reiki healing or light healing can be very beneficial, especially if you feel that there is not flow around your money, as if something is glitchy. That could be, the flow of it could be being stopped due to this blockage in the base chakra area. So movement, eating red foods, exercise, activity and meditations all help to create that unblocking and freeing up of that area again, which will in turn increase manifestation of your monetary, increase happiness and stability in the home life as well. We come to June and we see this beautiful card, the Three of Cups. It's a really gorgeous light card. Traditionally it holds very light, happy vibrations. It often talks to us of good times, like social times with people or friends or gatherings or groups of people. It can be parties, you can be hosting them or attending them. It can sometimes be the reunion of three good friends, and sometimes this is the card of sisterhood, meaning three female friends or perhaps three feminine type people. So, and sometimes they are dark, blonde and like strawberry blonde type colours. You might be going on a holiday or a get together or have a chance meeting and just really enjoy conviviality of it and the nurturing support that it offers. There's also a possibility that these three people could be very beneficial for you in your life at this time. They may be there as extra support, networking people, propping you up for one reason or another. But it's a really positive, lovely, light card. It can sometimes turn up when there is something like a wedding or an engagement as well. And we come to the next one in July for your summer and round about your own birthday time. Well, when I say summer, it's summer, of course, for the northern hemisphere. For the southern hemisphere, it's winter for us. But the sun, again, is just the most magnificent card of optimism, joy, happiness, harmony, growth, fertility and conception. It bodes well for other cards around it. It sort of gives it that positivity and leap of faith, as does the star. So these two in the middle, which are hogging the whole centre ground in the middle, are two very positive, vibrant cards, and they give off, just as they do in real life, these radiant rays of energy to all of the other cards, kind of like boosting them. So your own reading seems to have a boost through it, whether or not you'll feel this personally in the year, or whether there's something like a health boost for you. It just feels like 2019 for a lot of you Leos will hold some really beneficial, light-filled, positive, enhanced energies, and over quite a span of many months. So I think it's a good year for you overall. Coming back to the sun in July, there can be new romance as well. You know, we've got quite a few cards of potential romance for you guys. There's the High Priestess, the Star sometimes, the Sun, even the Moon can mean something going on in terms of relationships. We've got relationships and happiness here. So all of these three cards in a row over that sort of summery period are bolstering up this wonderful joie de vivre and feeling of peace and harmony and like captivation of life. It's as if there's a zing or a zest behind it that's fueling you one way or another. So sometimes this is a period where things like ideas and inspiration and passion can come into your life. So some of you might find that huge changes take place around this time in a good way from within yourself, and it could be things like amazing opportunities or ideas. So be aware of that and be on the lookout for it, and try to have that inspire your daily life as you move through each day and each month. We come to August and we see the star. Now, we talked a little bit about it before. It's interesting that I learned just a few days ago, it's not something I had traditionally thought of with this card, but apparently when it comes out in a reading, you can make a wish upon it. So it's like that old nursery rhyme or saying, you know, first star of the night, oh how bright, I wish upon the first star of the night. And also make a wish when you see a shooting star. So this card, as it turns out, is a wish card. And so is this one here, and they're diagonally connected. So you've got two opportunities in the year being presented to you where you have the chance to wish for something. And the years are, as we're going through them and we're running out of the teen years and we're heading into the 20s decades, everything is going so much faster and with so much more pace that you would be surprised how quickly things are manifesting in your life. So if you put the right wish out there to the universe, it could manifest very quickly, and especially when you have cards like this in your life. Do, come back to watch this over the year and really tune in again to the energies of it, because I think it's a great reading to use as a basis for things as your year goes on. But if we look at the star, again from a slightly different perspective, I've talked briefly about the fact that these little ones in the background, I've always talked about them as your celestial helpers or your angel guides. Well, Archangel Michael is sitting right in the middle of that, and he's saying, if you need him for anything, call upon him. So Michael is the one that most people perhaps familiarise themselves with or feel most confident around. He is a angel energy, and angels, if you like, we visualize them as having wings and being these beautiful light beings. They are energies of light from the cosmos, and we humanize them, so we give them names so that we can understand the energy of them. But Archangel Michael's energy is about protecting and offering strength and dominion. He is the angel that oversees firefighters and police, for instance, but he also oversees domestic violence, and he oversees the safety of your property and your home and your loved ones. So call upon him for any time when you want extra support and nurture and care and protection. Also your spirit guides, and remember that you can manifest things through the universe through these energies of them, by talking to them, by questioning, and by showing your gratitude. So the star is the wish card. She is also one of balance. She has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the land. So she does talk to us about balance a little bit and needing to find balance in life. Now the Empress mentioned that a little bit up here, and we talked about various hormonal perspectives of the body, including things like the thyroid, the pituitary, and our woman's hormones such as estrogen and progesterone and things like that. So perhaps for some of you, getting these things checked and finding a way of maybe holistically keeping them in track would be really beneficial for you. She also talks to us about diet and exercise, and she says rehydrate your body with water. It's one of the very best detoxifiers, and we often don't take enough of it on board. She also offers the possibility of new relationships and sexual chemistry, and quite feeling like excited at that peak time when you've met someone new and everything seems to be really wonderful. So this reading seems to offer quite a little bit of romance in the year and relationships, and feeling them as being heightened awareness or in an excitable, happy, positive state. So for those of you who are already in committed relationships, this could be these relationships being reawakened again and re-energized. We come to September and we see the Hermit with his star almost exactly on the same level as this one. And so we can sort of assume that Archangel Michael is still there helping you if you feel the need to take some time out. Now the Hermit card is about finding answers within and pondering where you're going and how you're getting there, and your integrity values, if you like, and your morals. So he's a very good one at telling us to spend a little bit of time alone and to go within to find the deeper connections of our own personal life. So he's a card of you, of just about you, your needs, your wants and your desires. And sometimes, especially when we're having quite this, active year all the way up here and vibrancy and outgoing, we need to take time out to regroup and re-energize ourselves in a peaceful, quiet way. The Hermit can tell us that it can also be a time of physical rest, so needing the body to slow down, going to somewhere like a retreat, or just staying home a little bit more often and resting up, re-energizing those cells, whether you're nurturing them with lots of extra sleep or less exercise or more nourishment to the body in the way of food or minerals or proteins. It can be all of those type of messages as well. I quite like the Hermit card because at the end of it we come out a little wiser, with a little more understanding of what we need at the moment in the year, and perhaps what we envision for the rest of the year and maybe into 2020 and even beyond. We can sometimes even change our integrity values when the Hermit is around. If we come down to October, we've got the Moon, just another part of the, cohesiveness of the cosmos. When we see a celestial event such as an eclipse, the Moon and the Sun are always involved in that. And sometimes we see them during the day, sometimes at night, and of course if they're at night and the stars are out, you'll see the stars being activated and involved in it as well. So the Moon can represent, again, feelings of the feminine energy, our emotions and our gut instinct. So both of these cards, because they have the Moon in them, they're both very blue backgrounds, and so the colour blue. But in tarot, the colour blue represents open spaces, freedom, imagination, expansiveness, inspiration and sensitivity. And I think the Moon in particular talks to us about our sensitivity. It tells to connect with our psychic, intuitive side and our gut instincts, and to begin to trust them. Sometimes when the Moon card is out like that, it can be giving you a little bit of a warning and saying that some things that are going on in this time phrase may not be wholly trustworthy. So if you are dealing with businesses or you are signing contracts, be careful, check the fine print, make sure you've done due diligence on anything that you are signing or uplifting or buying, or new people that you are meeting at this particular time frame. There are some scabby type people out there, and there's always someone trying to rip us off. So you have to be aware and activated when the Moon is around to just watch out for negativity in dealings and people. So if you're thinking of meeting new people at that time, as if all of these new ones up here might not have been enough and you're still looking, be careful of new people you bring on the scene. Don't give them all your information, and perhaps don't invite them into your home in too much of a hurry. The other thing that the Moon can sometimes be suggesting is that 3 people are involved, and sometimes there can be a water sign person involved in this as well, but that these can be things going on at night or hidden agenda. So sometimes it's things like an affair where perhaps 2 people are already tied up together and a third is involved one way or another. So whether or not you could be a third, or you're already involved with someone and you meet a third person, that's a possibility as well. So sometimes it takes a little bit of negotiating and strategizing and thinking, what is the best thing to be doing here? Again, it's all your own personal choice. It definitely talks to us a lot about our psychic intent or awareness and connection. It can also talk to you a lot about dreams and the answers that dreams can provide for us. So coming to November, we see the Page of Swords. Now he comes to us with new beginnings. The pages are always about new opportunities. And he could be suggesting, because he's a sword, he's about communication. So sometimes this can mean a new opportunity for the signing of documents one way or another. For some of you, this could be the offer of a job, or the starting up of a new business, or the signing of a contract. Perhaps you've been looking for work in the acting field or the singing or writing field, and someone says, yes, I'm going to hire you, or yes, I'm going to publish your book, or yes, I think you're the person I need for this new job that's being formed. Or your ideas might be being considered at this time as well. You could have been working on an idea for a long time and you've got it all ready to go, and you present it to an organisation and they go, wow, love it, let's get this thing rolling. So lots of potential opportunities around this November period. And what I do have to say is that these cards are not exactly a month on top of each other. They have a little bit of freedom of movement. So they can be slightly either side of the beginning of or the other month as well. So keep your ear to the ground and your eyes open for opportunities of new beginnings coming your way with this guy here. And it could very well have to be something that's signed, or it's coming to you in the form of a written contract or communication. December, we see the Six of Pentacles. You had the two Pentacle cards out. Both of them are favourable. They're both way positive for finances. So the Six of Pentacles is about the cycle in life of give and take. And when we're in that cycle of receptivity and giving, we are perpetually able to manifest. So sometimes it's very difficult when you're in the cycle of needing and you can feel like things aren't flowing properly. But whether you're actually being able to give or you're really needing something, it is still part of the cycle. And when you receive from others, as long as you're receiving with the gratitude and the awareness that it's part of the cyclical nature of life, then eventually it will turn over into the cycle of being able to give. So both of them are as worthy as the other. Obviously it's nicer if we're in the cycle of being able to give, because we feel more, we feel as if we've got more in life, I guess, so we feel more full. Whereas when we are receiving, and if we need to receive, we're often feeling a little more empty. But it's nature, it's the cycle of everything. So take it for whatever it is for you in your particular instance. If you're giving, it is a wonderful gift. And the gift of giving keeps on giving. Pass it forward type thing. If you're receiving, know that someone in your life loves you enough to help you out and support you. And that in itself is the gift of gratitude and love and care and support and nurture. So both of those are wonderful energies to pass forward. Coming to January, we move into, yay, 2020. Not that I'm wanting to rush the year on, because believe me, I'm not. I'm happy with taking things slower. But here we are at the end of that year and moving into this. And you guys get probably one of the most perfect cards to move into a new year with. As I mentioned earlier, it's called the Wish card. He is very happy, this chap. He's sort of like the cat that's got the, the cream. His face is smirky. He's got these beautiful 9 chalices lined up behind him. He is in a place in life where he feels fairly satisfied with things that he's done, and he feels it in his heart, because these are emotional edifices, if you like. So they tell us that there is a degree of emotional satisfaction and happiness from within the heart. Now, when we feel like this, again, we're able to manifest our dreams and desires with much more ease and pace. So you're able, when this card is around and tied into the star like a double whammy, make a wish, set intentions, set the tone for 2020. With all of this positivity and glow and celestial work pouring into this reading, you guys have the opportunity to definitely be setting the tone for these next new 9-year phase that's coming. So it's up to you. But I have enjoyed doing your reading. I think it's a really grand one. I'm pleased Archangel Michael came in with a little bit of humour and showed us exactly about the power of the cosmos and celestial events such as eclipses, also new moons, full moons, things like that, planetary movements throughout the year. So yeah, connect with it all, connect with your spiritual helpers, feel the zest for life and the energy that you can muster up, and have a wonderful year ahead. Hey, please subscribe guys and tap the notifications button so you can see when new work is uploaded. It seems my channel is really struggling at the moment for viewership. I'm not sure what it is. It's something in the YouTube background. Who knows what they do, but they do block channels from time to time, and they sort of slow down the way work is put out to the public. So I need you guys to be able to see the work that's coming in so that everyone gets these messages, because these messages are delivered to you all for the greater good, you know, for increasing harmony and increasing wellness as such. So thank you all for listening. I love it when you leave your comments and sub the channel and hit the little notification bell. I do wish you very, very well for the year. A great reading. Do enjoy it. And thank you again for joining me. Much love everyone. Namaste.